Welcome everyone to the Sides Around Podcast, and welcome to another race review. Today, the Martinsville Cup race, the first race in the round of 8, and some sparks flew, but not necessarily on the track, but on pit road. We'll get into all that just in a little bit, but to start off the weekend, we had Denny Hamlin after that win in Kansas. Went on to get the pole, and everyone thought he was just going to take it away and just dominate the race, and no one could touch him. But
yeah, the drama it really started really Saturday morning with Chase Elliott because he lost an engine, which is kind of unfortunate and unfortunate. If he's going to blow it, it's the best time to kind of blow it in. So they got a new engine put in it, but it did qualify. Second. So but he still had to start from rear to field. Looked like he might have a good car coming through the field, so we'll see.
They would have a caution for debris. Someone's brake duct just exploded. I believe it was Ross Chastain or Matt Crafton's. Matt Crafton filling in for Matt Tifft. Tifft had some sort of medical condition. They never really said what it was, but they did say Tifft was okay.
Yeah. Chastain had a little bit of damage or something. It might have come out of his car. But it's kind of Matt Crafton kind of ran over it, and he's kind of just wasn't really too happy about that.
Then Truex won the race off pit road, and there went the battle for the lead. I mean, Truex just had a dominant car, especially when he got in that clean air.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin had some trouble on pit road. I don't know if some of the jack or it may be too close to the wall. They couldn't get the back left tire put on, and that cost him some positions out there.
And there would be a penalty for Stenhouse, and then it'd be Truex versus Blaney on the restart. Truex just drive away and win stage 1.
Yeah, I mean, Blaney, he had a good show, and he stayed in the top 2, 3 battle right there, and he had like a long run car. He'd lose some time on Truex, but longer run would go, he would kind of catch him just a little bit.
And then Truex lead again off pit road. Alex Bowman had to go to pit road early. They would have a caution for the 13. He would spin. Not really too much damage there. But then Truex Jr. lead off pit road yet again. But some guy that wouldn't really get off pit road very well is Chase Elliott. I talked about him earlier in the race. Looked like he had the car that could have possibly beaten Truex, but the car beat itself. Ultimately.
Yeah, he raced his way all the way up to third or fourth at that point. Coming to the pits, and something happened with the axle. So yeah, I mean, Chase ain't having very good luck right now in the playoffs, and they had to go to the garage and get that fixed, and he'll several laps down after that.
Yeah, and his playoff championship hopes is probably done at the moment. I mean, I think he could go to Texas and win, but if you look at the guys that's probably going to be good there, like Martin Truex Jr., Harvick, Denny Hamlin, possibly Kyle Busch, it's going to be kind of hard. I thought, Martinsville was his best shot. But also I think ISM might be a good shot for him as well. So I think it's going to be do or die at ISM.
Yeah, I believe if Chase didn't have all the troubles, he might have been able to run up there and run Martin Truex down.
Yeah, make it some sort of excitement for the race, at least for the lead. Because Truex had nobody that was, he had a William Byron, but I think, he's still better than Byron on the longer runs.
Yeah, I believe. With Chad Canals preparing that car for him, and with William Byron's talent, he was right there, and he just couldn't quite get to him.
And Clint Boyer would have a flat tire, and he would go down pit road, but they changed the wrong tires and went back out, and the tire blew.
Yeah, I ain't really understood that. He had a flat tire. Go ahead and change all 4 of them, just to be sure, because it's just really unfortunate. you come in the pits and you run back out and you still got flats.
Yeah. Yeah, so the caution was for Boyer for spinning. Kyle Larson would stay out, try to win the stage. I really applaud this move because they got him 9 points. Didn't win the stage. There's no playoff point really the battle anymore because they don't really count. But
yeah, he went like a lap down earlier, but with the cautions, he got back on the lead lap, and here he was just using some strategy to get some stage points.
But Truex was able to get back around him and win stage 2. And before we get into stage 3, we want to give a shout out to NASCAR IndyCar 48 and Doug 1112 or 112 for finding Dale Jr. in the thumbnail. So thank you for playing along.
Yeah, it's always a fun game to find Dale in the photos here, and just trying to find out where he's at.
Yeah, if you want to be given a shout out in the next episode, if you can find Dale in this thumbnail, let us know where you found him down below, and we will give you a shout out. But in stage 3, it'd be Truex versus Blaney. Aric Jones would have a blown tire, and then it'd be a caution for Austin Dillon. He would have a flat tire, so a lot of tire issues.
Yeah, a lot of tire issues. I mean, the racing here is real tight. A lot of beating and banging a little bit. That's what short tracks are. That's pretty much how Martinsville is. You kind of give each other a bumper. You go 2 wide, sometimes 3 wides, and that was kind of crazy at times. But when you get side by side, and you wash up into them and bend and fend a little bit, and you just kind of rub tires.
Truex would lead off pit road again, and then he would lead, but Byron would catch him. But just before Byron could get around him, Kyle Busch would get spun. Almirola would go with them, and Priest, Matt DiBenedetto, they were all involved as well, and that could continue throughout the playoffs. Will Almirola go get some revenge on Kyle Busch at Texas or maybe ISM?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, Almirola, he had a really good car. He was running up in the top 10 a lot today, and I believe he was faster than Kyle Busch at that point. And Kyle Busch ain't too happy when people pass him, and I ain't sure if Almirola gave him a bumper a little bit. And I mean, it's just the way Martinsville is, and Kyle Busch, like, he kind of turned left towards Almirola, trying to pin him down a little bit, and then they got hooked up, and then he's pretty much fine.
Yeah, just a not a very good move. Kyle's not in a good mood anyway, but
yeah, he's not in a very good mood.
He got really angry from Denny Hamlin and Keselowski, and then Almirola come through and just gave him one little tap, and that
I'm tired of everybody pushing me around.
Set him off. So, Kyle Busch is angry. He's in this playoffs.
He's frustrated.
He's watched Truex. He's won 3 the 7 playoff races already, so pretty much dominated the playoffs. And Denny Hamlin won also. And where's Kyle been? Hasn't really contended for wins, other than, Richmond and Kansas. So, even if he gets in the Final Four, without winning, I don't think he's going to have too much confidence.
Yeah, because he got up in the top 10 and running okay, but he's gone now 19 races without a win, so it's unusual for Kyle Busch, and that kind of plays a toll on him a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Truex last year. It was really hot at the start of the year, and then just kind of disappeared. So We'll see if Kyle Busch can regain control of the season and show Truex and Hamlin that he is still the best Joe Gibbs Racing driver out there, because it's kind of like a rivalry, and I would say a friendly one, but it's not.
Yeah. And Almirola said that he's gonna make Kyle Busch's life pretty rough.
Yeah, he said he's gonna give him some hell. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if Almirola really would or not. It's just a heat of moment, and you come out of the race, sometimes you're hot and say things you don't really mean, and we'll see what happens races.
I really hope that there is something. because the playoffs have been kind of stale. Martinsville kind of warmed that up a little bit. I thought it was going to warm up just a little bit more, but yeah, we got some battles going on that could either continue or they could die out at Martinsville.
Yeah.
And then be Truex versus Byron on the restart again, and caution for Suarez, Bowman, and Bubba. Bubba was having such a good day up in top 10. Looked to be like one of his best performances.
Yeah, Bubba, he's running really great. He's won a race here in the Truck Series before. So, it's good to see Bubba running well like that, but I ain't sure exactly what happened in that caution there, because Bowman, he was running over everybody. So,
yeah, so after that, Truex would lead again. He really didn't need a caution, but he'd get one with Clint Boyer blowing a tire. It'd be Truex versus Blaney again. Truex leads, and then Denny Hamlin just run Logano up in the wall for no apparent reason. Just wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, I know you're battling hard and stuff, but in Rubbin's racing, and you're going to get into each other every now and then, give a bumper to somebody, but you run somebody all the way up to the wall, and you see the car just kind of it can't go any further up because it's got a wall there, and really cut Logano's tires, and I don't really like that move. I mean, if Denny was up there and Logano pushed him up there, he wouldn't like it either. So,
yeah. If you can't beat him, run him up in the wall. So I guess he was just struggling for his playoff life. You never know when an extra point is needed. But at the end of the day, he got a rival.
Yeah, I mean, they've been running. Side by side, all day long. Nobody run anybody into the wall, and been minding their manners. And I don't know if Danny just need that certain lane to get into the next turn, or what it was. Man, it was pretty tight battling going on right there, and Joey like he was going to get like maybe a top 5 finish. But yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Be Truex versus Byron again, and then be caution for McDowell and Hemrick. I think this was the last restart. Byron would try to run down Truex, just couldn't get there, and Truex would dominate, just like Keselowski did in the spring. So they really kind of messed up Martinsville in terms of the leaders, but had some playoff issues throughout the field. We had Kyle Larson. He knew he was going to struggle. He went there and struggled, got some stage points, and not a terrible day, but still not a good one. Then Harvick kind of struggled all day, but managed to get a top 10. Logano coming back and getting a top 10 after all that happened. So
yeah, and Ryan Blaney, he really one of his best runs right here. He should have finished a few spots ahead of there. I believe he got real tight towards the end. I mean, the short runs, he was really not that great on short runs, but the long run speed, he was pretty great on it, and he pretty much was playing defense about the whole way. And he's trying to say he ain't going away, and he's trying to improve his positions in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think Martinsville has, I don't want to say it eliminated Chase, but it really made it tough for him. And he was one of those I thought could maybe go on to Homestead, win a championship if he's able to go there with no issues and possibly win the race. But unfortunately for him, those issues happen, and if they don't get it figured out, it's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you got a great car like he had, and then lose the engine and lost the axle, and now he's looking at 40-some points.
Yeah, so now it's definite must win. Well, not necessarily, but he's going to have to run super good, probably top 3 in all stages, and still would need some luck. So
yeah, he's going to have to run really great, and those guys run really bad. So we'll see how Texas and Phoenix does, or ISM.
Yeah. But before we say, see you next time, gotta talk about the fight. Well, the fight.
Well, first, congratulations to Mark Truex for 7 wins this year.
Yeah, and
that's pretty impressive.
Dominating race. For some reason he likes to win these domination races. If it's one that he didn't really dominate, it's probably not going to win.
Yeah, it's about time he won Martinsville.
Yeah, I mean it's your Ville, man. You got to win in your own Ville. It kind of reminds me of that time where Carl Edwards won Darlington and went out there and made it Carlington. So just a nice day. I thought he was going to get in the Homestead anyway. He just solidified it and made sure no mechanical issues took him out of it, and now
he can rest easy the next 2 weeks and just focus on Homestead.
Yeah, and Texas is going to be really important in my mind. I think who runs well there will run well at Homestead because it has similar qualities, especially like Texas will start in a day and end at night, so we'll see who can have the best night race car.
Yeah.
But also the fight. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin Joey wanted to talk to Denny, and then I guess the tempers got the best of Joey, and he gave him a little nudge, and then Denny Hamlin went after him.
Yeah, something about these drivers, you put your hand on their shoulder and they just kind of get mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that Joey just wanted to go talk to him, and I guess he's expecting. Denny's like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run you up into the wall. I was just, it was a little tight or something like that. But no, he didn't get nothing like that, and like he didn't really care, and Joey didn't really like that.
Yeah, and I think it's good that Denny didn't apologize because, playoff time, of course. But also, when you're Denny Hamlin, you got to think about it. You're only 20-some points above, and Joey goes out there and wrecks you at Texas, puts you in a must-win at ISM.
Yeah.
I would have apologized if I was Denny because it's clearly his fault, and then wouldn't have upset Logano, wouldn't have upset NASCAR, wouldn't have upset a bunch of fans, and I don't know. It was just a really weird fight.
Joey just wants to know why he ran him up into the fence like that. Like they ran each other pretty decent all day, and I know it's tight racing, but they had a big scuffle.
Yeah, and also the same for Logano. He doesn't want another enemy because we see pretty much every time Logano gets into the round of 8, he has an enemy.
Yeah,
and
she's the one who him.
In 2015 it was Matt Kenseth, and then last year it was Truex, and here we go with Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, so I don't blame Joey for being mad. You had a good car, and you racing for 5th or so, and then somebody just slams you in the wall, and you can't go any higher than you are, and I can understand like a bump, but just keep bumping, and if I hit the wall, it's just uncalled for.
Yeah, and we go to Texas next week, and it's gonna be one of those places where I'm not sure if everybody's gonna run super close together or they're gonna go spread out. So I'm gonna go with the spread out, but the restarts are going to be a thing, and Joe Logano could easily, or either Logano could dump Hamlin could dump Logano, and of course you got Almirola and Busch. Well, that continues. So at least we got some storylines now. It's not just a full-on stale playoffs, and we just go award the champion at Homestead. So we could see this continue in Homestead.
Yeah, just think if Joey gets knocked out of the playoffs and Denny's in the playoffs and it comes down to Homestead, would that make things difficult for Denny Hamlin? So,
yeah, and right now the points are really close. They're not like single digits or anything, but Harvick is just 14 points back, and Blaney's like 17 or so.
Yeah.
That's just 2 stages.
Yeah,
Harvick or Blaney, which I think Haas is going to go out there and get front 2 rows again. I think that's what's going to happen, and that puts him in a good position there.
Yeah, Bunny, he gained quite a few points today and moved up 2 spots in the playoffs, and who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of races, and you don't know how Kyle Busch is going to go.
Yeah, with Kyle, it's just kind of roll the dice and see what happens. Texas is going to be really unpredictable. Because if you look at the round of 8 guys, of course, you don't really have to worry about Truex. He's probably going to go there and either just go hard like normally or just take it easy. It doesn't matter anymore. And then you got Denny Hamlin. He either goes to these mile and halves and he goes in there and dominates and wins like he did at Kansas, or he just is non-existent. And
just think if Brad Keselowski goes and wins Texas, and then nobody else is locked in for Homestead.
So could go out like the 600 did, or I'm thinking it's either going to go like the 600 did, or like Kansas, which that shows us 2 different scenarios. So looking forward to see how it goes out, and we'll see if there's any more drama. But thank you for watching our race review, and we'll see you for our fast picks on Friday, and it will be the last time we'll get Pete the Pumpkin on here.
Yep.
Because Halloween will be, we'll record on Halloween and then put it out the day after. So
yeah, because he's just here for a small internship. So
say goodbye to Pete the Pumpkin next episode. All right, so we'll see you for our fast picks for Texas and our race reviews throughout next week.